We're in for very big changes with the changes of the nodes, and as a collective, we've been talking about this a lot in the ISFM in our morning group, that we need to make room for what's coming in, because what's coming in is not what we're used to, and we have to be open to that change. And what is it with most people? We resist change, because it's fear. We'd rather stick with what we know, even if it's toxic sometimes, because we know how to navigate that. Toxic is familiar, and as sick as that sounds, we tend to do that a lot of times as people. It's like, because people are like, why do people always go back to their ex? Or why do they stay in that bad relationship? Because, again, with these weird word analogies, the devil you know is better than the devil you know.
Hey, welcome everybody to Witchcraft TV Tarot, and we will be right back after these messages.
Do you feel something huge on the horizon?
Oh, absolutely. We're in for very big changes with the changes of the nodes, and as a collective, we've been talking about this a lot in the ISFM in our morning group, that we need to make room for what's coming in, because what's coming in is not what we're used to. And we have to be open to that change. And what is it with most people? We resist change, because it's fear. We'd rather stick with what we know, even if it's toxic sometimes, because we know how to navigate that. Toxic is familiar, and as sick as that sounds, we tend to do that a lot of times as people. It's like, because people are like, why do people always go back to their ex? Or why do they stay in that bad relationship? Because, again, with these weird word analogies, the devil you know is better than the devil you know.
Do you feel...
So welcome everybody to Witchcraft TV Tarot, and I am the Lone Wolf, and we are having Mind, Body, and Soul with Joanne from Inside the Sacred Circle and Joyful Empowerment. And we welcome you for free tarot card readers and regular empowerment, because that's what witches do. We empower. Joanne, how are you doing this evening?
Great. I'm on the tail end of the flu, so don't mind my stuffy nose. A lot's happened over the past week. You've been traveling, doing a lot of traveling, moving location, setting up another empowering, wonderful community up in Washington, I hear. And I've been recovering and picked up some clients this week, which is great. And doing all kinds of, great stuff. And I did pull our collective card for today, and two fell out. The first one that fell out is Devotion Unites Me with the Infinite. And I like how it's got the little triquetra, the little infinity symbol there, and how it's, goes around and connects. And basically what this says is, what is devotion? Devotion is when you commit to something, when you commit to a cause, when you commit to a practice. Devotion is what connects you and keeps you connected. I know me, like if I slack things, I start to notice, because we all get that way. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to do my altar devotion, or I don't want to meditate. And next thing you know, you're in a bad mood. Everything is like, eek, and you're cranky, and everybody around you is cranky, and it kind of moves on. You know what I mean? It goes forward. And because, as I say, what's inside manifests outside, right? So if we're chaos on the inside, so your devotion is what's going to unite you with spirit, creator, divinity, God, whatever you choose to call it. How much you commit to it, like anything else in life, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And if you want that connection with the divine, you have to be devoted to that and committed to that. And that's a big thing today, because our energies are all scattered right now. Mars is in retrograde. which is a time to kind of look back at things and slow down and not charge in, that fiery energy. It's kind of a time to say, what can I fix here? What do I need to tweak? And then the second card that came out, which interestingly enough, let your inner fire warm you, but not burn you.
Right.
So again, the message here is you have that passion inside of you. And my grandmother put it best that sometimes too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, right? So you want to find that balance because
Shout out to Arizona de Aries. Shout out to Fire Jewel Howard. Hello, blessed be. Thank you
hi
so
everyone.
much. And Kathleen, thank you for joining the streams. And for our preliminary, hello, waving hand from Washington State in the house. Thank you. Sorry to cut you, Joanne. Just
No, that's fine. So like anything else, if you let a fire go out of control, not only is it going to warm you, but it's going to burn everything around you, right? So devotion and balance are what you need to keep those fires burning in your life. And now with Mars retrograde is the time to reflect on that. And we also have a
retrograde mean? What does that mean when you're retrograde? What does that mean?
Retrograde is when a planet is, does its trajectory and it looks like it's moving backwards. It's not, but that's what it looks like on the scheme of things. And generally a retrograde, because everybody's like, oh, they're bad. It's a time of reflection. So whatever planet that is, like Mercury is the big one. That's a time where you're going to want to look at your communications, look back on things you've done and reflect on them and fix them. It's not necessarily a time to move forward because if you don't fix those things can go wrong, right? So they're generally times to go back and look. And we also have the full moon in Leo, which is also fire. So
the full moon coming up.
Yeah. So
it's
now
is a Leo full moon.
Mm-hmm. And
that's fire.
Yes, fire, passion. Just think about the Leo in general. If you just think about the lion in general, they're strong, they're persistent, they're beautiful, they're proud. And now, is the time to look at these things and put your foot out there. Where now's the time to do the work.
Shout out to Reno, Nevada, Jamie Lynn Denton, a benefactor of Witchcraft TV, and also the innovation behind Witchy Kids TV television. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. And who else is coming in? Wow, a lot of people coming in tonight. Hello, everyone. And
yeah, I really like what you're talking about with particularly the planetary correspondences with the lion, the fiery sign, Leo in general. You said that it was like is it a detriment? Is it is a pro? Is it a con? I mean, what's going on in the skies right now, Joanne?
The skies are complicated right now because you have so many planets that are doing like things that they haven't done in many years. You got Pluto moving around. I think Uranus is about to square something. Uranus went square. There's a lot of conflicting energies and squares going on. A square is when a planet and another planet face off, so you've got all these face-offs going on in the background. And it's, just look at the collective world we're in today. Everybody is fiery. Everybody is walking on eggshells. People are triggered easily. And now is the time when a planet is retrograde, because Mars is the planet of war, right? You think about war, you don't want to go forward and do that. You want to go back in and stop and think before you act and before you speak. It's very important because otherwise things can go south really quick. And which leads us to another topic I wanted to talk about, because we do mind, body, spirit on here, and mentally How do we deal with people that are, what's a nice way to put it?
Easily triggered.
Yeah, or hard to get along with. You know,
How
hard to
do
get-
we deal with people that are hard to get along with? I don't know. I feel like whatever I learned that is beneficial to my adult life was learned in kindergarten.
Yeah. My personal way of dealing with people like that is, obviously, unless I'm in a therapy session with them, but just people in my life in general that are combative, or they come at you for whatever their reasons are, because I like to look at it as it's not about me, it's about them, right? It's about something going on inside of them that's triggering them, and I don't engage. I just don't feed into it. If people want to attack, I leave it at, if anybody that really knows me and knows who I am and knows Joanne, they're going to know whether these statements are true or false and make that discernment. I don't feed into it. That's how I deal with it.
Yeah, I think discernment is definitely a good component in the trajectory of anybody that's a seeker. I think discernment is a good way to, it's a good mentality. And one thing pops into mind, and I'm going to give you back the mic real quickly, but I want to say that when Machine Gun Kelly came after Eminem with Kill Shot, like hip hop beef, right? It's like Eminem's the Dawn, right? Eminem is like, he's successful. He's with Dr. Dre. He's Death Row. Like, you're talking about a lineage that is very, prestigious. And if he would like entertain that MGK was like somebody that was shooting at him, it makes him a little bit bigger. MGK gets bigger, right?
Yeah.
Where if he never mentioned it at all. So it's kind of like with nativity, it's kind of hard to be the upshot, or like if you're traveling the low road and you're up kicking, or you're up attacking, and vice versa, because everything it walks on mirrors, as above as below, as within as without. If you're on the uptick and you are down kicking, or you are like saying you are not okay for the community, you are not okay for the trajectory of contemporary witchcraft in the revival, right? And you're down kicking that, I don't think that's okay. I think that the common goal of the trajectory of the revival itself should be the fruits of the trajectory in itself.
Well, first off, like I said, if you're going to take the low road, you're going to surround yourself with that low energy, and you're going to bring back more of that to you, right? Because if you surround yourself with that negativity and those people that are constantly going to, come at you, or you're going to go at people, you're going to bring more of that around you. You know what I mean? You're going to attract more of that. And that's what I always say, what you have inside is what manifests outside. So if you're miserable and angry and mean, you're going to be surrounded by that on your outside circle. My response to people like that is I just do better. I just keep doing what I do, and it shows me how not to be. And it teaches me how to be a better person. I've learned so much. I mean, 20 years ago, or when I was in my 20s, I'd be the first one to come at somebody if they came at me. Now, no, I don't. I can stand there. I had a drunk neighbor that used to bang on my door and scream and throw a fit, and she'd knock on my door, I'd open, and I'd just close the door. Whereas if I was 20 years old, I would have been out there probably scrapping with her. I just don't engage, because it's like, whatever, you do you. That's not me, you know, and the more I feed it, the more it's going to fuel it. And I don't want to bring myself to that point anymore, you know. I think as we get older, we learn that peace is more important than, you know, peace of mind is more important than getting your point across. My point of lead by action, not words. You know, words are words. I'm just going to keep doing what I do.
Fire Jewel Howard in the chat room. Law of attraction.
Mhm.
Fire Jewel Howard. Positive brings positive, and yeah, absolutely. Fire Jewel Howard and vice versa. So
Absolutely.
yeah, like attracts like. If you are bringing something to the table, if you are bringing that venison, smoked meat in the middle of winter when the tribe is starving, like attracts like. Others will be like you that do that type of same energy exchange. Also in the chat room, Jamie Lynn Denton from Reno, Nevada, a benefactor of Witchcraft TV, says fire destroys, fire transforms and creates. Fire is unpredictable and can either be combustible or kindled. What are you showing there, Joanne? What's that say?
It's the card that I pulled earlier. Let your inner fire warm you and not burn you. So it's like what Jamie said.
Say it again. What does it say?
It says, let your inner fire warm you, not burn you.
Yeah.
Because like Jamie said, fire can get out of control and it can hurt you as much as it can keep you warm, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you want to be fiery, you want to have passion, you want to have all these things, but you don't want to be out of control. You don't want to be so full of yourself that, you know, you're going to destroy everything around you. You know, I think it was Joe Vitale who said that, you know, people that get angry at you and come at you, it's not, you can't take it personal because they're not necessarily mad at you. They could be mad at the fact that it's something they want to do and they can't for whatever reason, or they're just, you know, you're doing it and they're not. It's, you know, there could be 100 different reasons, but usually it's more to do with them. And usually it's because you're achieving something that they want and they can't for whatever their reason is, whether they don't have the access, the motivation, the ability, whatever. You know,
say it one more time. Say it one more time with the card.
Let your inner fire warm you, not burn you.
Right.
You want to radiate the heat. You don't want to consume, you know, you want to radiate heat. You want to radiate light. You don't want to burn down your you know, your house. You know, you want to radiate that light. You don't want to burn and hurt people. That's not, you know, where we go, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, Witchcraft TV is fair representation for all pagan witch and magic paths. And at the end of the day, the wise ones of humanity, the witches in contemporary times, are the persona is all about empowering. That's what witches do. We empower what is around us. We empower the people. We don't kick them down. We empower them. And I think that's very important. So I think this is a phenomenal show. And I'm glad to bring Witchcraft TV Tarot back up online tonight. Yeah, I did some traveling and we're here. And this is such a great message, Joanne. Thank you so much for spending your time and energy and your commitment to righteousness. In the chat rooms, we have Jamie Lynn Denton. Oh, you turn them down. Some people don't do well with rejection. And
yeah, that's true.
Agreeing with the premonition as well. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, go ahead.
people are, you know, people are going to be what they are. And not everybody is going to be at that same level of healing that you're at, or on the same path even, or whatever. And I deal with all kinds of denominations. And, Jim and I have really had to put our foot down on people saying, oh, well, I don't like this person. Why are you? I don't care who you like and who you don't like. They have a message to say. And I respect that. Just because it's not my path doesn't mean it's not a valid path. And our thing is to empower others to make good choices. And to me, having people, reputable people in their craft out there for seekers that are looking is important.
Yeah. In the chat
No
room,
matter what craft you are.
In the chat room, Fire Jewel Howard says it also has a lot to do with accountability for yourself.
Oh, hell yeah. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear so we don't get in trouble through Book of Face. But absolutely, Fire Jewel. Accountability is everything. We all make mistakes. We're all human. And I had a boss once that really put it simply to me. And I followed that recipe from him, and it has never done me wrong. He said, if you make a mistake, people are human. He's like,
right.
Own it, fix it, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Own it.
One of the things that I have consumed in our pagan community, in our witchcraft community, what is contemporary witchcraft revival, is that it's okay to make mistakes, but let's not make those mistakes fatal.
Mm-hmm.
And with the mistakes that are fatal, that's what the really question is. What are the mistakes that are fatal? But at the end of the day, is not the trajectory of witches of past, present, and future the ability to empower the people? And that's exactly what we're doing here right on Witchcraft TV Tarot. If you would like a tarot card reading from a PhD in psychology, if you would like a tarot card reading with a prestigious, valuable asset to the pagan community that throws cards.
Oh, thank you.
Right now is the time. Give us your zodiac, your
Have you noticed is GZ in the chat? Have you seen that name?
No, I haven't. Jay-Z, welcome to the chat room. I'm not
No,
sure.
Geez. She said she was going to try and get in because she missed her reading last week. So I was seeing if she was here.
Yeah,
Remember, she was the one that was at work and popping in and out.
I haven't seen that. Reno, Nevada says, yeah, we have crazy toxic circles here, and I had to learn we can't help everyone or resonate with everything.
No, but you can respect people.
No tolerance.
You can, my daughter just in the background, sorry. She said it's called tolerance. You can respect people's perspective. You don't have to like what somebody has to say. You can scroll by. You can just talk, everybody's entitled to their thing. And especially today, everybody's on each other about the smallest things because we're all so amped up. And the message that I keep getting from spirit, and when I communicate and meditate and I start to go down those rabbit holes, is nope, focus on what you need to focus on, Joanne. Keep going, keep doing what you got to do. Focus on what's important and what matters and what you have control over. I don't have control over Elon Musk. I wish I did. I'd pay everybody's bills, but I can control my immediate surroundings, right? I can control my world and how I deal and treat the people around me. And I lead by example on what I want to see. And that's what I try to do. And, focus on what matters is the message I keep getting. And another one that keeps popping in is savor the moments. Savor these times that I sit with you and talk. I savor these moments because these are the things that matter. These are the people that are important in your circle, the people that uplift you and bring you up and uplift you. That is what matters. Your tribe.
Right. And one thing I want to bring into the equation right now, and No holds bars. I'm not holding back. I am not censored. I'm going to speak my mind. Okay.
As so, I'm unapologetically, authentically me. I like to say that.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've encountered is when we're doing like online tarot card readings, you have like a lot of the same people coming fluctuating in and out, and it becomes like, who are you going to read readings for? And you have like a lot of like inner community, and you have like community, diffs for dats, and everybody in the community is kind of like they're wanting to be elite. Who's at the top, who's at the bottom. You shouldn't believe him because we want the viewers. And content creators and all of these things, TikTokers and all of this shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what really is the core of contemporary witchcraft? Who are the seekers? Who are the pagan media? What is the core of the revival of contemporary witchcraft? And we are on the threshold of that. And there's lots of backlash with that. There's lots of infighting with that. And I tell you, if you are the upfighter, if you're the downfighter, if you're a bottom feeder, and you are trying to say that you're trying to invalidate, this person's network is not good, they are not honorable, they are a villain, right? I tell you this, who is doing the work? Who is bringing the community together? Who is combating a much larger force like Project 2025? Okay, we have particular political shifts, and I never wanted witchcraft to be political. At the same time, the trajectory of the craft is safer with the Democratic Party. However, the Democratic Party did not win particular political shifts. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we have to be silent.
No.
We have a constitution in America, and Witchcraft TV is way bigger than just America.
Yeah.
We're seeing in the United Kingdom. We have viewers in Australia. We have viewers in Ireland. I would love to have viewers in China and Russia, but unfortunately we can't.
Yep.
But what it boils down to is all of the infighting, okay? This particular media is better than that media. They're invalidated because they're a drug addict. They were in prison. They were this, they were that. But I tell you right now, what are you doing now for the trajectory of contemporary witchcraft? What are you doing now?
Like I said earlier, we're not the people we were 20 years ago.
We are not. No, absolutely not. In the chat room, Fire Jewel Howard, the truth will out. It always does. And Fire Jewel, we appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. The truth will manifest itself. Absolutely. Yeah. The Hemnajir Mayat, the goddess of justice, will speak. And if there's an ill speaker and can do it in an embodiment of this particular vessel on Malkuth, then you will rot. You will decay. You will not be a voice. Yeah. The truth will come out. And that's exactly what we want. We, Witchcraft TV Tarot, as a platform to read tarot, which if you do want a tarot card reading and you're not intimidated by the algorithms of what we're doing here, we're available for tarot card readings. Absolutely. In the chat room, Daniel Michael, our tests make us stronger.
Absolutely, Daniel.
Yeah, and that's so spiritual. It's not even funny. The tests of, a lifetime test, our spiritual lessons. I know I have them.
Yep.
I'm sure that all of us have them.
Well, that's like I said earlier, put out there what you want to see in the world, embody that, walk your talk, do the work. Actions speak louder than words, all these analogies, they mean something. They're out there for a reason. You need to do the work. You can sit there and complain about, there's room for every reader out there. I don't compare myself to other people. I just do what I do, and to the best of my ability and the best of my connections. And I don't, there's room out there for everybody.
Yeah. There comes a time where somebody, especially in our community, that's a seeker, like we're going to reach our highest ideals. And as a community, we are going to reach our highest ideals. As Witchcraft TV, we are going to reach our highest ideals. We are going to provide free divination for the community on a reciprocity exchange. You can sponsor us. You can not sponsor us. You can come broke. It doesn't matter. We are still going to bestow upon you the greatest energy exchange that we can bestow on our soul. Like this is a passion. This is not, this is the high road. This is the low road where they are, shooting above arrows. And I can promise you this, Witchcraft TV in all of its capacity and spirituality will never, ever downshoot or belittle anybody on the trajectory of contemporary witchcrafts or its revival.
Mm-hmm.
Never. And that's exactly what happens. I mean, I love the haters and I love to get all hip hop on you right now. And, I'm in that, genre of music. But at the end of the day, this is a spiritual community where we uplift, and it is the job of the witch to empower humanity. And that's exactly what we're doing right here on Witchcraft TV Tarot.
And it's important to have empathy. And when I say empathy, a lot of people mistake empathy with sympathy. Empathy is understanding where a person's coming from, seeing their perspective on their path, and understanding. Doesn't mean you agree with it. Doesn't mean you have to jump on board and say, hey, yeah. But it means you understand where they're coming from and why it's important to them. A lot of people mistake empathy for sympathy, which means if I understand what you're saying and I don't disagree, it means, that I support that. And that's not true. You can have empathy and not be sympathetic. Do you know what I mean? You can understand somebody and not agree with what they're doing or participate. You don't have to. But they deserve a voice just as much as anybody else. And I'm not talking about, really bad things, obviously. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic. There's exceptions to every rule in life. But for the most part, I don't judge a book by the cover. It's never, usually when I have done that, because we all have, it's always surprised me what I find when I actually look in the book.
Yeah. And the chats, Fire Jewel Howard, work on your own becoming every moment you are. Work on your own becoming. I got to read it twice because I'm trying to digest this.
Yeah.
Work on your own becoming every moment you are. What do you get out of that, Joanne?
To me, that says work on yourself, on what you want to become every moment. Work on you. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you want to manifest in your life. I don't worry about what, what's that? What the other reader there? His name is the one that does the astrology. I'm not worried about what he's doing. You know, I support him and I go on and I cheer him on, but I'm not focused on. I'm focusing on what I'm trying to manifest in my life, and we can't compare ourselves to other people. You know, because we're not. We're all unique. We all have unique gifts and talents, and you need to focus on your own and work on them instead of worrying about what other people are doing, what they're saying. That's not what I'm about. You know, that's not what Inside the Sacred Circle is about. It's not what Joyful Empowerment is about. And no, I'm not a positive, sunny person 24/7. None of us are. That's toxic positivity. I'm not a fan of that either. But I am a firm believer that we have to, in order to do anything, you have to do the work. And my dad taught me that. He said, you know, anything in life, Joanne, whether it's a career, a friendship, a relationship, a job, a car, you know, it requires work along. You know, the grass is greener on the other side until you get there and find out if you don't take care of it, it's just another lawn and it's gonna, you know what I mean? It's all about what you put into things. And that never changes, you know? You have to put the energy in. What, as witches, we work with energy. We're putting energy, we're aligning energy with planets, with deities, with spirit, with each other. And we're enhancing that energy to manifest what we want to bring into our lives.
Yeah. In the chat room, Daniel Michael, a benefactor of Witchcraft TV, says, I view empathy as external and sympathy as eternal.
Yep.
He also says yin and yang. Fire Jewel Howard. Laugh out loud. We are all unique and special, just like everyone else. And my dad said that often. Reno, Nevada benefactor says we are all made with our own individual imprint.
So does anybody out there, do you have any particular, when people get you stressed, what's your go-to tactic to rise above? Anybody out there?
I've been around the community a long time. Like, when shit gets real, I've seen folks just kind of say, I'll take it. I'll take the damage. I'll just ignore it. And some of them get active. Some of them will make up a puppet doll and, you know, pour wax on that joker and do all kinds of like extremist things, you know, and some others would just ignore it, you know. I think it depends on the practitioner, you know, how to react to a situation. I
make it my purpose to do even better.
Right. And to do better is exactly what it is to do better. And I think the highest ideal axum is a fruit of the craft that has not been really spoken about with Llewellyn authors. It's not spoken about with contemporary authors. And I think these, you know, writings from our old archives and, you know, grimoires from the past of our pioneers, you know, with axioms like the highest ideals is important. And I think that we should reach our highest ideals. And I think sometimes maybe cursing and hexing is kind of childish. Like throwing dirt in the sandbox. Like, why can't we all get along? We have the same objective, and we have a bigger enemy. We have the political shifts, Project 2025. We know what political campaign is safer for contemporary witchcraft.
Yeah, but you also got to look at the law of 3 too, or the law of 7 if you're Hermetic. You have to, you know what I mean? Karma, whatever you want to call it. I think, and even in you know, Christian and Judaic, you know,
keep that right in the chat room.
You get what you come from, you know.
take a special salt bath when oil is in. Meditate in the bath and let sacred waters wash it away. Yep, right down the drain, right? Fire Jewel Howard, I dig it.
Yep.
Rosemary Kennedy Kinney, venting to someone close instead of the person who caused it.
Yep.
Okay. Daniel Michael, I view stress as a gift. It means you're still alive and have something to work on.
Yep.
And yeah, we always have something to work on. I know Joanne believes in that. A random my Gmail. I come home and I smudge my sage and I give it to the goddess and God. Yep. I would say blessed it be, bring your sage, and blessed is the old gods.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Jamie Lynn Denton from Reno, Nevada. Follow the steps to cleanse, ground, center, shield, transmute, transform, etc. And you see Daniel Michael says, I see cursing and hexing as someone who's looking within who has run out of ideas.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that too. It's like, did you really just run out of ammo? Are you really just on the bottom trying to upshoot because you ran out of ammo? Please stop shooting at the shakers and the movers.
Just do the work.
Yeah, do the work. Yeah, keep working. Yeah, exactly, Joanne. I'm with it. I'm on board with that.
Do the work. There's always something better that you can be doing, or, like I said, we have to really, really, really right now focus on what's important. And, united we stand, divided we fall. We all have a common goal. It doesn't matter what you call your thing or what I call my thing. Doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, the common goal really should be the stabilization of contemporary witchcraft. I mean, we are Witchcraft TV. If anybody's shooting at us, they're shooting at witchcraft in itself. I mean, think about it. Yeah, that's just how I feel.
No, well, they have the ability to come and make their point. We
welcome in Louise Donato. If I pronounce your last name, I apologize. Yeah, thanks for showing up on the streams. Fire Jewel Howard. Knowing what belongs to you to work on is imperative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, what belongs to us, obviously, in a collective community is the spirit of the goddess. Yeah. Because we know the goddess won't lie to us. We know that, every human being on the planet, scientifically, was born a woman, and that's just a fact. And I'm sorry that it is, and it may be controversy, but hail to the goddess, and that's just how it is.
Well, you have to. I look at it as I have more important things to do than to dedicate my time to this. It's taking away from what I'm building for myself. And I think a lot of times that's the objective. I have to go back to the phrase, don't take anything personally, because it's not about you. It's about them, because either they want it and they can't, or they won't, or they don't know how. And that's not your fault that you're ahead of you can't compare yourself to other people. You can't. And you're only going to, that's like if I'm a restaurant and I'm open 2 hours a day and saying I don't make millions of dollars like Applebee's, who's open all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Either I got to open more hours and expand my menu, or I'm going to sit. It doesn't make Applebee's bad. No. Does it make my food bad? No. But if I want to be that big, money thing, I have to either expand what I'm doing, but I have no right to be mad at them for doing what they do,
Right. In the chat room, we have Jamie Lynn Denton from Reno, Nevada, a benefactor of Witchcraft TV, www.witchcrafttv.online. And she says, cleansing in mantra forms like wash energy points, hands and feet with salt, blend stuff in food and drink to transmute and ingest and delect harm. Like I add rosemary to garlic to boost protection and salt and lemon for cleansing, etc. Just always good ways and things to put to practice. But I tend to connect with the elements before considering tools and divination. I just follow my intuition.
Yep.
She goes on to
Spiritual
say,
hygiene.
you told me last to embrace the change, and a lot of change happened. And I am curious what message may lie in the collective possibility. Possibility. Yep.
Is that a question to me or to you or to both of us?
I'm not sure. I think elaboration would be fine. The last statement
Does
was
she
you
want a
told me
card?
last,
Is that what she's looking at? Or
I mean, I'm not sure. I think that the pagan community has been it's kind of the same influx, ebb and flows, where we have the same community and we don't have outside community. So we're just kind of a ballad to strengthen ourselves at this point. And maybe Hermes needs to get involved and have a better communication.
let's connect with Jamie's guides and tell us what she needs to focus on.
You told me last to embrace the change, and a lot of big change has happened. And I am curious what messages may lie in the collective possibility.
I am pulling from the Avebury Oracle, which are cards that give you focal points to meditate on for things. And
I am your host.
What happened?
Yeah, it's just we're listening to the.
Oh, I heard a noise. I was like, maybe it was just something else. Oh,
it's a surreal situation.
So this deck is not like a regular Oracle deck. It gives you it's about meditation and channeling that energy on what to focus on. And the meditation point for you right now is faith. Take that leap of faith and don't hold back.
Wow.
You have to have faith that what you're doing is going to work. Okay? You've embraced the change. Now you got to believe that this change is for the better. And the thing for you to focus on is that faith, to take that leap of faith, the courage to take that leap and move forward without fear. And see, there's the person with the wings flying above. That's going to bring you your freedom. So, faith. Don't hold back, is what it says. I'm trying to, so she can see the words. Don't hold back.
It's deep.
It is. So that tells me right now that you need to just keep moving forward. And that's the message that I'm getting for you right now, is to keep moving forward and have faith that it's all going to work out. And don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Stay focused on that point. And if people are doubting you or you're doubting yourself, just have faith, because our ego loves to be the backseat driver. You know, our human side likes to come in and say, oh, but wait, you know, because again, even if it's toxic, we're used to toxic and that feels safe. We're used to navigating the toxic. The new is unknown. It's scary. We don't know what's going to happen. And as humans, we like to know. So the logical part is to get a little scared, but you just got to have faith in your choices, in your decisions, and yourself. You need to call back your power and say, I've got this. I'm making the best choices for myself right now. And have faith in those choices. And don't get distracted by the voices and the other people. Focus on yourself.
Yeah. And
you know?
I'd love to add to that real quick, Joanne.
Absolutely.
when you said focus on yourself, and I've said this a lot in my core classes, on the Witchcraft TV, we have what is called the core class, and we just have like a class where we talk about what is the core of contemporary witchcraft. And one of the things that I always bestow upon newcomers, students, people who sit in, is that every magical tradition on the planet, either, it doesn't matter what current you're tapping into, every magical tradition is first going to tell you to know thyself.
Yep.
And once you know thyself, then you can have a key and the ability to control what happens around you. And if you are truly to be a bender of reality, you must be a bender of your own self first.
Mm-hmm. You have to regain that belief in yourself. And I know you've gone through a lot right now, Jamie. And right now it's critical that and things have improved and you want to stay on that improvement line. That statement, we miss 100% of the shots we don't take. Wayne Gretzky said that. So sometimes you just got to take that shot.
Jamie says, I have a big event I'm planning with local bar to boost up here, Reno, so can have a card on a success rate. If I can get you guys here for a divination event, thank you. Maybe it's both. I did exactly that. My event was sabotaged. So thank you for being inspired by what Joanne and I are doing here tonight. Daniel Michael in the chat room says, and to me, it's a lot about discipline and reprogramming the automatic mind.
Yep.
Reprogramming is a hard thing. And I know exactly what Daniel's talking about, particularly with a criminal mind pro-descent or later, well,
you got to give yourself slack because these things didn't happen to you overnight. You weren't, programming takes time, and it took years to get there. And we have the misconception that, all right, I'm going to go to therapy now and everything's going to be okay. And yes, it helps, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. You got to also align your mind, your body, your spirit. You have to, what are you putting into your body? What changes are you making? You can't go to therapy and still live a criminal lifestyle and say, well, nothing's getting better and wonder why. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna, it's not gonna help. And as for your event, I think that have faith and take that leap of faith was an answer to that, but I'm pulling another card for you. But I agree a lot with what Daniel says.
Daniel says, my approach is daily exercise versus cast and go, if that makes sense. Fire Joe Howard. Knowing yourself is a lifelong endeavor. Yeah, it is. And knowing yourself and the better, and I agree with you, Fire Joe Howard. It's just like the more that I know myself, the better I can interact with other people to know what kind of like situations I will cause. And
it's constant work. It doesn't stop,
Fire Jewel Howard also says it's a constant work in progress. And Jamie Lynn Denton with I just called my power back last October and pushed forward with other events, but the bar owner said I got a free event coming up soon. It's another person got me for $250, so I said it's gonna. Remember this year, I learned a lesson about contracts in events. Okay, we wish you well in your endeavors in Reno.
The card I pulled for that her event is the Star, which is Aquarius, and it is also about hope and inspiration, and it is about you've been reserved and vulnerable, and it's time to put yourself out there again. It's where your despair is replaced by hope. The star is a symbol of hope.
Yeah. In the chat room, Shimush Typhon, if I says your name, I apologize. I'm glad you're still broadcasting and get to see you doing your thing. keep going. Absolutely. We are definitely doing our thing right here on www.witchcrafttv.online. We are fair representation of all pagan, witch, and magic past. We are broadcasting 365 days a week, and a week. Yeah, we're just on all the time, like all the time, and there's no fallacy. We are here, and we're not going anywhere, and we don't care if the bottom feeders are up hitting us. What we will say is that we will never down hit or discriminate on anybody. We won't down attack anybody. And right now, people on Witchcraft TV, we have a big target on our back. I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Harold Carter has a big target on his back right now. People who associate with Witchcraft TV have a huge target on their back. And
New
that's
level, new
because-
devil.
Yeah. Say it again.
New level, new devil.
New level, new devil. You heard it. Fire Jewel Howard in the chat room. Could you pull a birthday blessing card for me? 2/13 is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Do you want an oracle or a tarot or any particular?
Happy birthday to you. Cool.
Does she want an oracle or a tarot? Does it matter?
Not really sure. I'm thinking I think tarot's probably okay. I'm not really sure. 13th, February 13th. Oracle.
Oracle?
Yep, she says oracle.
We'll go with the That'll give you a focal point to focus on for the year. That's a good oracle.
Cool.
I like this because they're simple. What does my friend Fire Jewel need to know moving forward for this year on her happy birthday? What are her guides, spirits, pantheons of the divine have to tell her to focus on? Wow.
So, okay.
Surrender. Through surrendering, you achieve your true power. Surrender to the divine.
How do you do that?
That's a tough one because, again, it involves taking that leap of faith and putting yourself at the hands of trusting that the divine knows what's best for you moving forward, and not to fall down the rabbit holes and get distracted from your trajectory. That even when it seems impossible, you're still gonna try and do that. And if you look at the card, he's hugging the rock over here, and he's trusting in the earth, in the guides that are around him. He's holding on to that rock, and he's gaining strength from it, and he's feeling it, and he's feeling that energy, and he's got the staff, and if you look, the light is behind him, his rod. He has all the tools he needs. You just have to surrender, you have to surrender sometimes and just go with what's happening, which is really, really hard, really, really hard.
Yeah.
And it's different for all different people. But yeah, you want to surrender. Through surrender, we achieve our true power. When you surrender and say, all right, spirit, it's not about me. I'm going to go with what you want. It's like we talked about the other day. I've always felt like the square peg in the round hole. And it's like, how many times am I going to try and put this peg in this round hole and realize it's not going to work? Time to go a different direction.
Right.
Listen to what spirit is telling you. But Lord knows I tried for years to jam that peg in there. And it took me a long time to realize, well, maybe that's not where I'm supposed to be going. And I've changed my trajectory. and I'm just, and it's working out a lot better for me. I'm opening up a lot more things for myself. I'm coming out of myself a lot more. I'm not in the liminal shadows anymore. I'm putting my work and myself out there.
Yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on as a guest on Witchcraft TV Tarot. Joanne, I'm the Lone Wolf. This is Mind, Body, and Spirit. This is Witchcraft TV Tarot, and we are broadcasting on social media every evening on the day of Luna. So keep it right here on Witchcraft TV. We are www.witchcrafttv.online. We are fair representation for all witch, pagan, and magic paths.
Do you feel something huge on the horizon?
Oh, absolutely. We're in for very big changes with the changes of the nodes and as a collective. We've been talking about this a lot in the ISFM in our morning group, that we need to make room for what's coming in, because what's coming in is not what we're used to. And we have to be open to that change. And what is it with most people? We resist change, because it's fear. We'd rather stick with what we know, even if it's toxic sometimes, because we know how to navigate that. Toxic is familiar, and as sick as that sounds, we tend to do that a lot of times as people. It's like, because people are like, why do people always go back to their ex? Or why do they stay in that bad relationship? Because, again, with these weird word analogies, the devil is better than the devil.